Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, we looked around more in Windibank's pawnbrokery only to find that Gina had come in there and was trying to pawn off a coat. She got a coat back and was trying to pawn off, what's it called? Pawn off a disc found inside it. Now, with that being said, she failed because apparently another guy came in and apparently he was the real person that put in the coat and thing and such. The other person that came in was Mr. Egbert Benedict here. Anyways, that led to a whole thing where we had to call Mr. Shom, start a whole nother great deduction, and yeah. As it turns out so far, Egbert Benedict was literally... He accused Gina of stealing the redemption ticket, but really, the redemption ticket wasn't even his. He actually has a flyer for Windibank's pawnbrokery with Gina's information as well as what she'd be doing there on it. So, yeah. Anyways, back into this. To abscond with a redeemed item, yeah. Anyways, let's get into fixing up the great crime, so to speak. Well, it's our first thing, so I may as well read it. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have been in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of pawnage? Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner, using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place? Just how could I have possibly known the relevant details, n'est-ce pas? Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, you and your furtive glances telling more than I could have ever hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the console notice on the counter to which your eyes have been inadvertently drawn. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into sewers. Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windibank would never have allowed you to redeem the article. Or, looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Windibank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So, the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword somehow? Well, yeah, I mean, the ledger is literally right here. I don't... Huh. Is this it? Yeah, note. Look this, Mrs. Otto. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windibank has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He probably doesn't remember all the watchwords, so... Mr. Windibank must make a note of his watchwords. Of the watchwords his customers gives him, right before their eyes. And in an alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? Yeah?
Take that!
You'd think he'd just like hide the notes somewhere like under the desk or something, not just right in front of them. The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusation against Mr. Strahd. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windibank. How did you hide? He's in all white. He's in all white and a relatively dark-colored pawnbrokers. How do you not notice him? Oh my god. When the diligent pawnbroker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the password article, the pawned article from young Mr. Strahd. Good God. Do I have like speech? Do I have like reading dyslexia or something? Because I can read, like it literally, whatever. Pawned literally look like password to me, so I don't know. Master plan. Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets. Which, according to Mr. Windibank, isn't even worth a penny. And yet, this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we could already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo? Could we? Really? Alright, let's look then. And I guess... Oh, stupid, yeah.
Take that!
The music box disc. It said for Mr. McGilded on it, so... yeah. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads, for McGilded. Mr. Magnus McGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGood was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat you've squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today was to retrieve an article left by the late Magnus McGilded. Oh, so he came for literally Magnus McGilded stuff. More than likely that disc. Alright though, that was fun. Well, well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances.
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Miss Susato.
Well, according to what Mr. Windibank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat would have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would precisely be 2 months since it was first deposited.
Well, today is the 15th of April, so 2 months ago today.
Would have been 15th of February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see.
What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th of February
is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place.
and 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
Yeah? Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. So in other words, he must have gone here and put this jacket in there like moments before he died? No, not died. Moments before the crime took place.
You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However,
Yep.
I must insist that you hand over the music box disc now.
Yeah? Where did you get a gun from? And if you had one, why did you use one earlier?
It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box.
What do I do? Well, just hand it over. I mean, he has a gun. He could shoot me at any moment. I hate to give in, but what other choice do I really have here? Mr. Windibank.
This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life.
Mr. Windibank, no.
Alright, that's enough.
Inspector Gregson.
Inspector? That's right, sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So, we got here as fast as we could. Now,
What's all this about, huh?
oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment.
Yeah? You're still holding the gun up?
It would seem you have the upper hand.
Yeah? You're not... Well, I mean, this is different times, but seriously?
Right, you lot got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy.
Petty? Mr. Windibank very nearly met with his end.
Yeah, by his own gun as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole of Britain could meet with his end if I don't get to the bottom of this case I'm supposed to be working on.
What? What on earth is the case, Inspector?
Spound of the tale, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector.
What?
He's getting away! Get after him, lads! Whistle the beat officer, too! Sir!
Yeah, he just twirled his way out of there.
There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning.
Oh, yes?
I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilda's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So, and it's over.
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilda has to be taken in as evidence now.
As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Yeah, well... And so, we handed Mr. McGill the disc over to Inspector Gregson. and were summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. Well, that was a struggle. Let's save our progress then. Not in slot 4, let's go in slot 5, please. There we are. Investigation part 2, how interesting. "15th of April, Baker Street." See? That's why I ain't grown-ups. All I do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh really, Mr. Strahd? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What?
Oh my, surely you were given that.
Yeah, the D let me keep it, after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, "Go on then, have it," before telling me to scarper. Always pays off, giving people a look like you ate them. I can't help feeling that it's gonna get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that knife shiny disc mine.
The music box disc?
Mr. Winterbank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash. Give him a long hard stare. I think not, Mr. Strahd. We shan't enter Winterbanks again today. Why not? It's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now, and taking a statement from Mr. Winterbank. But the disc's mine. I had the ticket for this coat, and it was in this, and it was in this coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what that rotten cove said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too. Whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Mr. Strahd, I think it's time to admit defeat. You had your haul for the day. Yeah, it's all your fault, Jones. So, what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Eh? Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. No, Ta. Oh? Why would I come round your place, huh? Have you lost your head or something?
Oh dear, she's gone.
Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. I'll inform Irish to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting. What is it?
You shall have to wait and see, Miss Susato. Until later, then. Oh. Okay, then. Well. Well, we've already seen everything there's to see here. Let's move to a different spot. Oh, wait, what? Huh? What? We were actually earlier to show our faces here. There's no way that literally that the whole thing took place. Yeah, there's no way that whole thing took place literally, because we started in the morning, right? Please don't tell me that thing took place all the way up till evening. There ain't no way. Whatever. Time skip to evening, I don't know. 15th of April, 3:46 p.m. Chambre Suite. That's a bit early for dinner, isn't it?
Ah, Susie and Runo! Come in, come in!
Good afternoon, Iris.
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh, yes. After all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. You'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of hers shining.
Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? What a surprise. Yes, that's wonderful news.
Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh, yes, that does sound like fun.
I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruhodo?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to?
Hurley? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes?
I beg that you won't speak to me.
Sorry?
I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see. Man said, don't bother me, I'm not here.
Really? He behaves just like a child sometimes, Hurley does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they?
Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are.
What's the matter, Bruno? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right?
How? How did you...
Oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book.
As can everyone else, apparently. Ugh, this girl is dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything. I won't mind.
Alright, fine then. Let's talk with Ginny first. So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGildy case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Why did you make a smoke grenade launcher? Whatever.
Although after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump her into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh. And I chase her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed.
Oh.
There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow.
Shouldn't, like, white or black be good enough? I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Poor Hurley.
Ooh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come. Alright, fine, let's get into the more important stuff. Why exactly are you living with Sholmes?
I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That, and where are your real parents?
My mummy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Mummy passed away when I was born, and at around the same time, my father... Well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mystery cases together.
She didn't mention that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in that metal chest over there.
Really? He recorded them all?
So, you mean it's true? Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases? Oh, yes. I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father?
Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest, but that only made me want to look even more. So I opened it up.
And found your father's memoirs.
Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me, that's when I found out the author of all those accounts was my father.
So, Iris's father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. Huh. That's interesting.
I've practically lived with Hurley all of my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock when Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy. I mean,
It must have done.
I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and why at such a young age.
Well, I mean, she literally just opened the thing and found it, so, I mean, at that point, what are you gonna do?
Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me.
Oh?
Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes.
Right. Oh, her literal deductive abilities. Huh. Wait a sec. Does that mean... Okay, no... Wait, is that a reference to... Okay, never mind. Sorry. I'm just thinking about something, is all. Okay.
Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's when it inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, actually.
I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you of all those thrilling stories. Yeah? Him? The guy that could barely remember us after like a month?
Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved a case, it all but vanishes from his mind.
Oh, I see.
The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone.
You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris?
That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson.
Dr. John H. Wilson. Huh.
I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so that I can earn a doctorate as well.
Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. That seems really familiar. Oh, his voice. Huh. Okay, how'd I do his voice again?
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Susato, Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that would be for the best. Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you.
Mr. Sholmes?
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the other day. Oh, goodness, really? Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed? My violin? Whatever are you talking about, dear madam? Oh, never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows. Oh, another music box disc. No, not another disc, Miss Usato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilda's disc.
Oh my!
Then, what's it doing here? Did you steal it from him? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for the detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny.
Ooh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant. And Runo could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught.
Right.
Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting. She could write all our menacing crime notifications.
Well, look at that. We're a veritable set of phantom thieves already.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'd be delighted. I'm just gonna pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Alright, so how exactly do you have that disc, Sholmes? I don't understand. How exactly did that disc come to be in your possession? And why can't I speak today? Jeez. I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this. That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes. Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc.
I'll be taking that whatever it is of Mr. McGilda's.
Oh God. Yeah, that was not the voice.
I'll be taking whatever it is of McGilda's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So, and it's over.
Oh, yes, of course. And if he demands something, if you have no choice, then what? It's all yours. And he just gave it in, yeah. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did. But I still don't understand. It was at precisely that moment I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars, like this. That's amazing. The disc and the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel. Indeed, the caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting, the result of a precisely controlled solution.
How extraordinary!
How hard that must be to carry in your pocket, seriously. Carrying a pair of these on one person's frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without a high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confessed I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. Alright, well, let's hear it then, please.
Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea? None whatsoever.
Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows?
No, I'm afraid not.
Goodness, you don't know, Bruno? Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound.
Oh, and the pins hit that cone. Okay.
Small protuberances plug the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making different notes. The first music boxes invented used to be a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
But now we have a disc. But over time, a new type of player was produced, one that uses discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe. Why exactly? Because the discs are very easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result. It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present. But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one's firm music box does not match that of another, and we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. Oh, so certain discs can be played in their specific boxes. Wait, didn't you just say the discs can be interchanged? I mean, I guess if they're made for the same type of box, then you can interchange it, but it seems like a lot of money to buy a whole music box or whatever just for one disc or whatever to play. Maybe it's because I'm on like a modern... maybe it's because I'm like in a more modern mindset, you know what I mean? Whereas I'm like, I'm... in that era we can just exchange stuff, you know what I mean? Easily, but whatever. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But, as you can hear, to no avail. Well, I mean, that's a good theme. I don't see what's the problem with that. That's a nice lullaby. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. That actually makes for a good horror theme now that I think about it. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's early for you. Always taking things too far.
What, my dear girl? An unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. Wait, what did he just say? To my he said constitution, good. But surely all the different types of in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, wouldn't it? Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room. What? Yeah, you're gonna kick us out for your music boxes, man? Magnus McGilliston. Not a name I expected to hear from again from so soon. Again so soon, actually. Whatever. Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. I need to start recording these earlier in the day, seriously. Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows. Still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case. Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't necessarily establish his innocence. All we did was argue for a little, and then he just said, "Ha, no, the trial is over." Like, you know? The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what happened that night, what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGillicuddy was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear that the case is not yet closed. Well, guess that's something.
Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Jenny will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris. Oh, well, you must let me help you then.
Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may well be right. Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Winterbank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he? Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe.
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were incensed as I was.
Oh, yes. The idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Ponderbank's store... Ponderbank? Okay. I need to start recording earlier, because now I'm just flat out saying the wrong thing. In Mr. Winterbank's storeroom gathering dust. My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure?
I mean, technically it was. Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley?
Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. What happened? What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Susie, what did you just say? You said The Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title?
Well, that's because Mr. Sato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Bruno, The Hound of the Baskervilles has never been published.
What?
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see.
So that's why the manuscript is at Winterbank's.
And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
Ah! What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Ah, Mr. Strahd. This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going. No, wait, Mr. Strahd. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris?
Oh, yes. Just wait there, Ginny. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy.
Yeah?
Come along, Susie.
Right. Of course. It's a pleasure to see you. It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please make yourself at home. Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? What? To some Mendelssohn? I won't take no for an answer. What is Mendelssohn? Mendel... Oh, it's a violin composer, okay. Meddlesome it is, then. Well, at least everyone's here. That evening, I've prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves, well into the night. Well, that's nice. 15th of April, 9:34 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Iris's cooking was truly divine.
And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now.
Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly hard.
Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder?
What's the matter, Susato-san?
It's about the telegram that I received.
Right, she received one early in the morning yesterday. Or earlier today. Ah. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose.
I've been summoned.
What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me.
The Lord Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then do we have to start preparing at once?
Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone.
Alone? What on earth for?
I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends.
Ah, Iris. Hello again.
And Gina, too. Yes, Ginny's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny?
Well, yeah.
How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful?
Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see, I came to return this.
Wait, what? That's mine!
Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway, here, you can have it back.
Oh yeah, I kinda need it back.
Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Ah, thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night.
So this is your office, isn't it?
Didn't you just say good night?
What do you think, Ginny?
I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer what lives in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she probably does. Yeah. Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you?
Aren't you going to tell me?
I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please.
Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward.
Oh no, not at all, Iris. Not at all.
I don't know what all this is about, really, but it's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This manuscript or whatever you call it.
It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries.
Daddy's.
That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once. His partner.
Eh?
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together.
Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I studied them and read my stories based on what actually happened.
So, where's your old man now, then?
He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time. So, I've never really met him.
Oh, right. Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Well, I mean, she's in the slums, right? They're probably either dead or drunkards. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts?
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow from the other cases, I mean.
Oh? How?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way, because after I'd written it and showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that.
It pains me to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say. Not now. So please, do not ask me.
Alright then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windibank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said it had something to be somewhere very safe.
That really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what it is. Keeping secrets like that. Well, I mean... Yeah, I'm sure he isn't trying to be mean. Eh? If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. Yeah. Oh, like... I think so too.
You lot are too trusting for your own good. But you can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it.
What?
Hurley's lying to me?
I don't know. Wait, what is that? Oh, so we shouldn't go out. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry. We have to examine. Oh. I thought she was shorter. Oh. I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina.
I ain't got any, have I? Never did have.
Oh.
Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us, from the minute we're born. Not even our mums. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones and make sure they get by.
So that's why you're a pickpocket.
Nah, diving's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it.
Oh, Gina.
I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought I'd make everything right. Well, I mean it does. But having listened to what Iris just said, sounds like having parents ain't always easy either.
Oh.
I mean, if you know you never had them, you don't feel like you're always wanting to meet them.
It's true. Yeah, I mean...
I do want to see Daddy so much.
Oh, Iris. Alright. I think this is a good spot to end it, because Sholmes lies. If we do this, then it'll lead us to a whole bunch of other stuff, so... I think this is a good spot to end things off on. Next time, we're going to talk about what exactly Gina means when she said that Sholmes was lying to Iris. So, yeah. I will see you all next time.